All right, good morning. 9:34 a.m. Tuesday, the 17th of March, 2026, and I have made it to Hot Springs. Didn't record anything yesterday. Just there's really not a good place to do it. It's kind of hard, few and far between, you know. Let me find a place to put this phone that doesn't spike my cortisol for thinking that it might be infected with some sort of virulent disease. All right, it's time to hunt and gather. Taking a zero here in Hot Springs, testing to see if this is dangerous steps. And yeah, man, I made it. It was a success. My plan to walk on the roads and 209 and all that stuff successfully delivered me to Hot Springs, and it was a field of victory, as per usual. When I got here, I walked pretty much immediately to the grocery store, got a dozen eggs, 1.1 pounds of beef, and basically just feasted. And so I'm going now to kind of replicate that. But yeah, the weather did exactly what it was forecasted to do yesterday. So I got up and it was rainy, and I was a little bit concerned about packing all my stuff up wet, but thankfully the rain kind of ceased right when I was packing up, so nothing was overly soaked. And then I basically just walked 209 the entire way to Hot Springs, and thankfully there was like a general store that was open about 2 miles north of where I had camped. And so I was able to get some water, a cup of coffee, a little snack, and then press on from there. 209 is a really nice road, you know, the Rattler, as they call it. And I really enjoyed the walk. I listened to the audiobook of Jurassic Park the entire time, and I was pretty immersed in it. So really nothing to report about the walk itself. It was nice that it was mostly downhill, and at around noon or so, the weather really took a dip. It started to get windier, and it started to get much, much colder. So by the time I got to Hot Springs, I was definitely happy to be out of the conditions that were emerging, my dude. And so yeah, you know, talked with the folks there for a brief spell, and then went to the grocery store, which I'm going to now again, like I mentioned, and the liquor store, and I went to a couple grocery stores. There's not too much going on in Hot Springs, but there's certainly enough to make a hiker happy. And then just hung out with people and talked for the rest of the night. I went to bed around 9, and then got up this morning at around 8. Certainly feel like I still sleep better in the woods, especially with the cacophony of snorers and people moving around, farting, etc. But yeah, it's been good so far. I'm happy to be here for a zero. I'm gonna have to do some figuring this morning about what my next moves are gonna be. So just a day of tending to needfuls. Probably won't be too much to say about it by the end of the day, but for now I'm gonna go buy a razor, hopefully from Dollar General, and then get some more food. And yeah, I'm not sure how much more there is beyond that, but let me pause this real quick as I go into Dollar General, if I can. Doesn't look like I can. Well, take off my glove. It's very cold out. It's like 28 degrees or something like that. Not a day I would prefer to be hiking, so happy to not be. And I will be right back. Alright, I've acquired my razors. I'm going to try to keep just an adventure stash these days for the trip. And now it's time to go get some food, and I think while I'm out, I'll go by the Outfitter as well. Just ran into someone who's also staying at the same hostel. And there's also someone in town right now named Ballsack, who is apparently trying to get the most miles hiked in a calendar year record, which is interesting. I've heard a lot about this person since starting, so I'm curious who they are and what they look like. And so maybe I'll run into them too, who knows. Got some expensive eggs yesterday, and not going to make that mistake again this morning as I make my way over to determine what will be for breakfast. I ate a dozen eggs yesterday. I think I already mentioned that, but probably going to do the same today. But maybe add some bacon, maybe something sausagey as well. But yeah, man, it is cold out here. And it looks like it's about 70 miles from here to Irwin, which will be the next resupply point, which would be, I don't know, I guess that's like 3.5 days. I need to do some major logistics because I'd prefer not to carry 3.5 days worth of food. But it'll be an interesting figuring moment for me to determine how that will be possible. And in the meantime, buzzing on coffee, caffeine, and gonna go into this grocery store now. Onward and upward. Time to go check out the outfitter, just get an idea of what we're working with here so that I can plan for the near future, my dude. Yeah, I don't feel like there's much more to say. I honestly feel pretty tired. I don't know if I slept particularly well last night. It's hard to say, but, it'll be a day of relaxation and chilling as much as is possible anyway. Still got to get a little bit of Strava going on and generally just live the dream, So I guess for now, although this is about as pathetic as it can possibly get for a clip, I'm not sure if I have much more to say. I'm basically doing exactly what I was hoping I would be doing at this point, which is walking around on a very cold day when I don't actually have to walk any more than I want to or any more than I need to. So that's kind of fun. And there is a little bit of accumulation still on the ground, but I'm sure it will be short-lived. Here at Hot Springs, it's about 1,300 feet, so incredibly low in terms of Appalachian Trail elevation in general, and it's just crazy how cold it is. But much better than being on the Smokies. In the Smokies. I have been, again, kind of morbidly curious if anyone braved the Smoky Mountains during this little snap. The people who are actually the caretakers of the hostel said that it's been pretty quiet on their end, so they kind of assumed that everyone got out of the cold and made it to town or made some kind of plans that were generally, safe and intelligent. But yeah, man, I can't, with the decision that I made to not go through them, I just can't stop thinking about, how happy I am that I didn't do that, And again, it ripped the Band-Aid off, so now I'm also kind of interested in what kind of trail logistics I will continue to pursue. But I'm about to go into this little welcome center real quick and see if they have a bathroom, because I think it might be a wise choice. So I'll be right back. Well, they don't open until 10, so I guess I'll press on, go take a quick look at the outfitter here in the charming little town of Hot Springs. I was thinking yesterday, if there was anything vital that I might need from something like an outfitter. My tent, it rained, like I mentioned the other night, and it did much better with the polyurethane that I added to the seams. I think there's probably still room for improvement, but it definitely made me feel like there was a second life to the tent a little bit, which I was happy about. Also, for the first time ever, I'd heard, I think when I initially bought the tent many, many years ago, that you could actually break it down without taking the fly off. And so I practiced doing that yesterday morning, and that was also a success, which kind of gave me an idea of what I want to do maybe in the summer, because I can kind of set it up with just the rain fly as a tarp and then not have the full enclosure, which would make things much cooler as the temperatures get warmer. But pretty hard to imagine warm temperatures right now. It'll be fun yet again to see how much time it takes to miss the cold. I actually have no idea where this... Ooh, a little slippery. I have no idea where this outfitter actually is. It can't be too much farther. I feel like I'm almost like walking out of town. I'll get some ice cream. Let's see. I need to put my glove on too. Let me find somewhere to put this glove on. My hand is becoming frigid. Where could this outfitter be? Let's see. Is that it? Hot Springs Outpost? Looks like there's still some damage from Helene over here. Going across the bridge. Adventures. Let's see. It's very possible that I've passed it already. And it's incredibly difficult to use my phone in this condition. So, I hope you're enjoying being along for the ride, because it's not going to get much better than this. We are in Hot Springs. I am looking for the outfitter. Where does it live? Looks like it's behind me. New location, 0.1 south. I guess I did pass it. Well, let's go back, shall we? It's hard to imagine something like an outfitter moving around this area. There's like not very many options for places to go or places to be. Is that it? There's an AT. I guess there's AT logos everywhere around here. Brr. Frigid, my dude. Let us see. That's the pizza place, the public library, the Iron House station with restaurants and shops. I feel like my eyes are freezing. Like the moisture just in my eyes is struggling, bub. Shout out to my parents, by the way. Let's see. Bluff Mountain Outfitters. This is what I'm looking for. What is this? Where do they go? 88 Bridge Street. It must be farther down. Let us see. Mine dude. I guess I should probably pause this. Alright, nothing too much in the way of things there. Nothing that I need anyway. So, walking back to the hostel now. I do feel like this is like the most boring clip I've ever made. So I feel a little self-conscious, but also just because it's like, I don't know. What is there to say on a 0 day? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess I'm just proving the point. I'm looking forward to relaxing and talking with people. Definitely need to eat some food. I can tell my levels are low, even having eaten as much food as I did yesterday. I don't think I've replenished all of the glycogen stores, etc. So it'll be good to get back and eat some eggs, some bacon, shave my face, feel like a normal human being, and prepare for what is to come next. Whatever it may be, my dude. I'm not entirely sure, although I am certainly very interested. You know, I've mentioned for people who at least registered their hikes. Oh, I should mention I got some guy yesterday bought me beer, which was cool. Shout out to Pretty Boy. Thank you for that. And what else? Yeah, I'll have to look at people's tags when I get back to the hostel, because I'm number 638 of people who have registered this year. And obviously, I've taken a few paths less traveled, but I'm curious to know, just in terms of how much farther ahead I've skipped since starting with some of the days that I've done. That would be an interesting number that I will try to report back. The sounds of civilization, my dude. That's the sounds of bacon and eggs. Man, I'm pretty excited for that. It's really cold. Again, very happy to not be hiking today. Oh, and a sign that says Lake Junaluska, 37 miles away. Boy, can I confirm. Yeah, I feel like I had something I was going to say, but perhaps not. Got a one-track mind at this point. The Smoky Mountain Diner, crossing that right now. I remember back in 2022, I went there and was pretty proud of myself for the amazingly large breakfast that I had. It was like 8 eggs, 2 orders of toast, hash browns, sausage, bacon, I don't remember. Ooh, chilly, my dude. Quite chilly indeed. But yeah, it's just going to be a day of recuperation, I suppose. And I don't feel too worse for wear, despite the long and somewhat taxing days that I had on the road. And yeah, I'm obviously in a thought loop of very few things beyond the immediate needfuls. And yeah, dude, the hostel is in sight. I'll be very interested to hear how Notebook LM turns this into meaningful and or interesting content, because I'm just like, I gotta go out, gotta make a clip for the day. Don't know what I'm gonna say, don't feel like I have much to say, and now I'm just narrating the lack of content. So I suppose it is what it is, eh? But yeah, alright, this is probably torturous. I'll leave it there for now, and if I have anything better to say, hopefully I'll have that banked and ready to go soon enough. I have no idea how I even strung this along for 17 minutes. Love you. Bye.